Howdy all, and welcome to part 2 of my newest playthrough series of Conan Exiles Enhanced. In this episode, I'm going to show you what I've done offline, and then I'm going to go into Sepermeru and see if I can't get me a fighter. So, I was thinking that I might go all the way over here to Mech Kamosa's Spire and see if I could get that new fighter Tefra that was introduced either with or sometime after the enhanced upgrade was put through. But then I went back and I looked at the video in the previous playthrough when I actually got Tefra, and ultimately Tefra is very slightly, or has very slightly better stats in melee damage and health points than either Lissa of the Longbow or Mandagai 100 Arrow, which would be the ones that I would get here in Sepermeru. And I want a fighter because I want to get a rhinoceros, and that would be right up here. Grab one of the rhinoceros, God, what do they call them? Babies? Cubs? Rhinoceros foal? No. Anyway, baby rhinoceros, and see if I can't raise one up so that I can turn that into a mount. Of course, I can also just run right up, as I have done and probably will, here and get a horse. But without having a mount, getting all the way over to here is a pain in the butt. So I'm going to stick to Sepermeru, stick to trying to get to one of the very slightly less effective fighters than Tefra that I can find over there. But first, since I did the last video, which was basically building the base here, I put into place a whole bunch of the crafting stations that I would need, and did most of the crafting journeys that start you down the path of putting these things in place. So of course I've got a furnace. I've gone out and grabbed a whole bunch of stuff. It's still making brick there. Tinker's bench. And of course all of the usual crafting stations. I did in one of my pass-throughs around Sepermeru looking into chests, found Gwynji the Architect. I wasn't really looking for any NPCs to get, but when I was doing, because we've got the tannery down here and the improved tanner's table, which since I've got all the room down here, I've got room for it. But since when I was doing the Thrall Taker, and I put that right over here, sort of slightly under the balcony, which I think is a cool place. And I had to go get a crafter. I ran across Gwynji and said, all right, that's the one I'm going to use. Because you don't have to knock the crafter out. I knocked out a fighter, which I've since broken bonds with, sent off to farm upstate. I did also run across Luba the Luscious. Now, Luba is a very effective fighter, and in fact is only slightly less effective in melee damage modifier than either Mandagai or Lissa. She's 1.2, and they are 1.45, I think, something like that. Let's see, what else did I do out here? Not much. Oh, I did grab an awful lot of stuff. Let's see where have I got it? Yeah, you see I've got tons upon tons of crafting tools, a little bit of armor there, extra weapons. Where did I put? I guess they must all be down here. Oh, maybe I didn't pick them up yet. Oh, they're in the storage chest, I think. And yes, paintings. At level 18, I'm not high enough level to make a dismantling bench, but I want to have that stuff ready so that I can get all of the silk and insulated wood out of the paintings. That said, so I've got 27 dry wood and a ton of resin. Where did I get all the resin from? I don't have a... Oh, from using... Yeah, from using the pickaxe on trees. So I can make... Oh, I can't because I don't know the next stage in crafting. And I can't learn Journeyman until level 20. All right. So I can't even make the insulated wood yet that I will need to be able to make the dismantling bench. Anyway, that all said, let's go ahead and put the steel truncheon. You know, in all of my pass-throughs around the chest in Sepermeru, I've managed to get a ton of purple lotus orbs. I got steel truncheon, and I think I got a couple others. No, just one steel truncheon. I have not found anything better than the fiber bindings that I've made. You know, I have no rawhide or leather bindings, which is kind of weird. All right, so let's run in here. Oh, my own gear. I made a medium harness, but I don't have an armorer on the bench, so it is just a mere plus 15 carrying capacity. And I want to get a tier 4 armorer up there so I can get that up to plus 21. Why are there no NPCs here? Is there one of those weird one-time events happening? Wow. Nobody? It can't be that I haven't been online long enough. Oh, nobody's out there. Oh, there we go. Okay. Nope, they're not appearing. I don't get this. If it was one of those events, the only place I've ever seen them spawn is sort of over there. Okay, now that's weird. Princess is in here. Conan is in here. Okay, everybody is in the bar except the bartender. All right, folks. That is really cut down on my options here. Let's see. None of them are Alyssa. Ooh, that's at least a tier 3, I think. Yep, just a tier 3. Have I talked to Gilzan? I have not. Let's learn your emote. Let's learn how to taunt people.
If you are planning to wander the avenues of this cursed city, then perhaps I can offer some advice.
All right. Let's go up here to see whether or not, if there is something going on. It usually happens up here. Yeah, there's nothing up here. And that usually affects the people over there, not over there. I am, definitely confused. Alright, folks, sorry for the weird discontinuity there. I tried logging out and logging back in to see whether or not that fixed the missing NPCs over here in this part of Sepermeru. So let's see. Oh, yeah, I just realized I've cut that whole thing out. Or a good chunk of it. Anyway. They are here. Good. That's not the person I'm looking for. That's definitely not. I don't need to look up any higher. but at least whatever was wrong with these people not spawning in, that has been fixed. Let's see. Nope. I don't recall ever seeing that any of these people are... you know what? Now I'm going to go back over this way so I can check everybody up there before I come back down into this part. Of course, that tree is in the way. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to run over there. But I will go after that one up there, because that's a pretty easy chest to get to. That's not a very tall tower. Let's see, grab some more paintings. Again, I really have more steel weapons and tools to break down than I know what to do with. Alright, yeah. Archer 1. Armorer. Where was the person who was standing over here? Up there. Oh, no. There was somebody else. I thought. I could have sworn there was somebody somewhere along here. Is right. I'm apparently wrong. Oh, yeah. Well, while I'm here, might as well go ahead and...
I am ready. Jakad's people were skeptical when I first stumbled into their city, but they knew his name. And then, Shemites, my countrymen. Familiar faces. Some recognized my face, but I quieted them with a glance. It has been good for me to be here. I have been able to rest and relax. The exiled lands are a fearsome place, but the people here have managed to build something. I have spoken with men who have been here for a score of years. They told me of the Purge, when soldiers ride through the land, slaying and pillaging. They have told me of the sandstorms that arise with such fury out of nowhere, and disappear just as quickly. I told them of the vision I had in the ruined city, of the room nestling beneath the secret heart of the ruins, of the map which shows the land that traps us, of the gems which can free us all. They've agreed to send an expedition. I will lead them into the ruins, and then to freedom. I leave the last page of my journal here. My journey thus far has been one written. Action speaks louder than words. May we never meet again in the exiled lands. Razma of Shem.
So I forgot that that was Princess Razma's last entry. There are entries of her diary all over the desert part, the beginning part of the exiled lands. And you notice I did run across a high priest of Set over there, a named priest of Set. Not interested. I don't do the religions really at all. There are benefits to them. I really should. And none of you are... Nope. Anybody I want. Alright, so let's head back down towards this area where I'm out of stamina. You know what? I think I am going to go check this one. That's definitely not... either Lissa or Mandagai. I am going to go down this way. I keep forgetting. Oh, let's check who these people are out here, out on the docks. Ooh. Oh, all right. I did want a fighter, but I am not going to turn down Inigo if I get a chance. All right. If you throw this over him, it's just going to disappear down into the water. So you got to make sure that you aim it, and it does have an arc, so you have to basically aim it at his feet to be able to get it to hit him and break. I've wasted a fair number of purple lotus potions just tossing them into the water because I wasn't paying attention. Oh, you look like Mandagai with that armor. Darn it. Alright, and now you basically have to wait for this to knock him out. Whatever the mod is that I'm using that allows, or that prevents me from seeing their stat bar when I should, like I have to get in a particular angle, is pretty annoying. I guess I can leave it like that. Well, see, now it disappeared from there, too. Because I can't tell whether or not I'm going to need to waste a third one on him. Out on this platform, I don't think I'm going to do the trick of smack him hard. Nope, I don't. And he stayed up on here, thank God. Sometimes they fall right over into the water. And that is... I mean, you can still get them. You just have to dive in and swim down to be able to get close enough to the body for the binding to be able to function. Let's go ahead and put that away, just so I don't accidentally throw it, which I've done. Let's get him over to the wheel. Alright, I've got my thrall crafting time turned down quite a bit, but I don't have a driver or overseer thrall in that spot, so it's still going to take a little while. I'll get rid of some of the weight here. Oh, look at that. I did pick up a weapon just by default. Habit. Oh, I don't need Rosma's journal on me. I also don't need that many potions on me, but I'll take them. I will put that guy there. And that one there. And that's loaded up. Alright. Alright, now go check and just see. This will give me a sense of the time. Oh, he's about a quarter of the way done. Alright, I'm going to go back and do what I said just before I discovered him. I'm going to run through the area that cuts right by the Prowler's space so that I can come in and see if maybe I've got a tier 4 bearer. These people will not have changed. Because I don't think I went that far out. I also don't think I checked on these two down here. I think I've learned that. Yeah. While you're standing in water, take a drink. Alright, so I'm going to cut through this particular pathway over here. As long as I stay nice and close to this wall, I won't attract the attention of any of the prowlers over there. That is a fighter 2. Fighter 1, 2. Where's the wandering bearer? Hello? Oh, there you are. Oh, bearer 3. I don't want to fight them just now, much as I want their stuff. Alright. Got a fighter 2. Fighter 2. Cat. I can come around this way, right? Instead of climbing over that wall, yeah. Dancer 1. Alright. No. Oh, you know what? I missed one. That a fighter that's all by themselves out here as well. And, no. And back around the corner. Hi, Dancer. Alright, that definitely is not either of them. No. And that is definitely a no. Maybe? No. No. And no. Alright, what do we got down here? We have... Oh. Every time I see that armor. Although Lissa is not usually wearing that armor. That's usually just Mendigai. And... No. Oh yeah, these are all merchants. Apprentice. And apprentice. I did come all the way through here, didn't I? Because I came around the other way. Actually, that might be in the... Yeah, no, I didn't come through here. Tanner. I can pretty much tell that is not either of them. That's a 3. That's an out of stamina. Carpenter 2. Oh, I will climb up here. This one is not a particularly long climb to get this chest. Did I look at Carpenter 3? Oh. And, no, not Iblis. Alright, what about these people over here? Nope. There's a chest right here. There we go. Leather binding. Yay. I'll try to use up the fiber. I'm not sure how many lights I have. Oh, who are you? Oh, Archer 2. I'll try to use up the fiber binding before I go to the leather. Definitely not Iblis. Smelter. Alright, since it's right there, let's just run over and get, or swim over, and get the chest that's right there in front of us. Probably gonna stop grabbing paintings soon. Alright. We've got these folks out in this gate. And then that's pretty much it for this loop around. No, I can tell that is neither. Nothing. Alright. Let's head back over here. And if anybody new has spawned in these areas over here, that'll be cool. But otherwise, I'll just go ahead and head back and see if Inigo is all set. Of course, I can't remember who was in here. So unless one of them turns out to be Mondagai or Lissa, I won't really know if they're new. Alright. What about you folks? Alright. Let's go up here. Not interested in priests. Did I not go? Did I go too far? Yeah, I did. Smelter 1. I don't need another dancer. Fighter. Fighter. Oh, there's a chest up here. There we go. A little bit of stamina recovery. And, okay, we'll take the painting. Alright. Any of these people? Oh, and no. And what about smiths? Regular smiths, regular armorer. Let's see, this should have respawned since we've gone all the way around. Money. I've got almost 100. I think I actually just grabbed that. Alright, we'll go here and down in, and then, if nothing, we'll run back and check on Inigo. Yep, I'm definitely going to stop grabbing paintings. Sometime soon, maybe. Alright, who are you? No. Oh, alright. If I don't see either Lissa or Mandagai, which I don't, then I am going after Chaim Hammerhand. I need any kind of smith, and a temper smith is just fine. Now, of course, here you're on hard ground. Well, sand, but still, you can break the orb just by throwing it in their general direction. So with a smith, I can make better weapons, but I don't know how to make any weapons that are as good as the ones I can find here. And give that a second to keep ticking down. I might be able to get him in just 2. Let's hope. Come on, there we go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, nope. Oh, yes. And that guy got knocked out just at the same time. Cool. All right, put those away. Oh, don't put that away. Grab Mr. Hammerhand. All right, now the question is, how long is he going to sit on this fiber binding before... it looks like Inigo's all done. That's not turning. All right. Great timing. All right, we'll take Inigo off. And, of course, that does make me over-encumbered. And since the tannery is right over here, we'll just go ahead and do it this way. Come on. Alrighty. You know what? Let's go ahead and set your fighting stats where they need to be. And boom. Alright, that's 2. And a 3rd. Alright, we did not get our fighter, but we're at, with the stuff I cut out, it's going to be about 32 minutes, I think, or 31. So I call it here, because if I do another loop around, it's going to be at least another 10 minutes. So thank you very much for joining me on this particular playthrough. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down. If you've got any questions or comments on this video or what we do here on any videos in Nerd Caliber, please do leave them in the comment section below. If you're not a subscriber, you like our stuff, please do consider subscribing. And maybe clicking on that notification bell icon so you get notified when new videos go up. And having said all that, in the meantime, do please stay safe, be well, and bye-bye.